Hey guys, what's up? It's once again mp4podcast.com. I'm going to try and wrap my head around Bill S.978. And I'm going to take the side of money because money has to be playing a role here someplace. So a lot of people say, well, it's not Congress, it is throwing it in there. It's not the gaming companies. Bull crap. It is the gaming companies. They don't want to see gameplay footage of their games on YouTube. And there are reasons for this. Now, I was listening to Review Tech USA, and he talked about DSP gaming, and DSP gaming even goes into that it's not going to allow reviews. I don't believe that. If you can, um, you know, edit up a review, take clips, then cut to yourself, you're talking, or however you want to do it. The movie guys have been doing this for years. If you don't believe me, check out spill.com. Their reviews, their YouTube channel is spill.com as well. Link in the description box if you just want to get an idea. You can use little clips to explain what you're talking about for review purposes or documentaries in the fair use law. Now, a friend of mine who worked at a store um, was a big Zelda fan, and it was the Zelda game for GameCube. And he had a customer that came in, almost every day in the mall, and he bought Zelda for GameCube. This guy would come in every day explaining. He was just so he wanted to talk about what he was gaming about, the levels. He would tell my friend every single day about the boss he's beaten, the level, his journey in Zelda. My friend would just be like, "Yeah, that's cool, man. Whatever." He would never tell the guy, "Please don't tell me anymore," because he didn't want to make the customer upset. But at the same time, this guy told him so much about Zelda, he decided not to play the game. Now, I used to subscribe to Darkside Phil, and you can make the argument that these playthroughs have boosted sales. You can make the argument that it has stopped people from buying the game. And I think there's a little bit of both. I don't know any statistics, so don't say, I'm not saying, or you say, well, 90% of the people will buy the game because Darkside Phil played it. 90% of people didn't buy it. I don't know the statistics, but I can tell you that I have read comments about people who, maybe only had $60 to buy a game, and maybe Darkside Phil played, Resistance or Gears. Let's say Gears of War 2. You watch the playthroughs of Gears of War. You know it pretty much. You know the levels and everything. You watched it for entertainment purposes. So you got your entertainment from watching the videos, but you still want to be entertained again. So you want to play something that you never watched or seen before, pretty much. So then you'll pick up Resistance 2, okay? And it's the same thing when somebody wants to tell you a movie, and you're like, don't tell me, I don't want any spoilers. Don't tell me about the movie, whatever. And you have that friend that just wants to get it out because he's so passionate about it. And I mean, I've been guilty of that myself. I mean, Lord of the Rings, and I remember my dad's a huge Lord of the Rings. He probably has read the books a couple times. And he's like, don't tell me about the movie. I already know about the story, but I want to go see it for myself. I'm like, all right, no problem. And that's what gameplay videos do. Now, Darkside Phil was having some problems on his channel. He was not able to get YouTube partnership at all on his channel, and he applied multiple times. He's always had a lot of strikes, and then he would counter notice those and get those strikes removed. Maybe that's why YouTube didn't want to give him partnership, because they maybe see that channel as a troubled channel a lot, and they're placing ads on it. They do look at a lot of statistics. Nobody really knows why some people get approved for partnership and other people don't. So if you're applying for partnership, you gain strikes. Maybe, I don't really know. So in one of his videos, you know, he talked about, when he became a machinima partner, that the game companies don't want you to upload cutscenes of games because cutscenes give away the story. All right, I can see that. They're like little movie scenes to a game, and you're giving away the story. So there's a lot of people who just upload cutscenes who aren't YouTube partners. They just do it for fun and stuff like that. So I kind of think that this is why this bill is being passed, because the gaming companies do not want you to watch the game or whatever. I can tell you honestly that I would have more fun playing a game for the first time than watching somebody play it. Like, I don't want to watch somebody do a playthrough and then buy the game. If I've seen a lot of that gameplay, all those levels, if I watch it, I'm going to watch it for fun because maybe I'm broke and I can't afford the game right now. Or maybe I don't really have an interest in watching it. Maybe I'm watching it for the commentary or whatever the reason is. There's multiple reasons why I'm watching that commentary, okay, of that playthrough of that video. And you can dissect it a million different ways why I'm watching it. Sometimes I'll watch maybe a couple of videos of gameplay footage, and then buy the game. Sometimes I'll watch a lot. It's all over the map. But companies do not want you uploading video game footage of walkthroughs. You can't upload, I believe, still. I know the bill is confusing, but I still think the fair use law will still override this law when it comes to reviews. Okay, now I don't know about my videos. My videos may have to be removed. My gameplay reviews, because I do a different type of review than other people. And a lot of people say, well, why don't you just do the other reviews like everybody else does? I don't want to deal with video editing, okay? I do a lot of videos. I don't want to deal with video editing. I don't want to do voiceovers. I don't want to do those things. I can do them. It's going to be less videos. Sometimes I take a break from reviews. Sometimes I put a lot of videos out there. And I don't want to deal with editing at all. So I do gameplay reviews. I play the game for a certain amount of time. And if I like it, I tell you I like it. And I say, hey, check it out. Link in the description box. Whatever. If it's for Android or if it's iTunes, I promote the game. A lot of games that I review that I like, I haven't beaten. A lot of them I have beaten. But I can give you a pretty good feel of how much I like this game, how well the flow is, and if it's a good game, I feel it's a good game, then I make a decision, and I make a decision that I feel comfortable about telling you to go to the App Store or Android Market and purchase this game. So, yeah, I do gameplay walkthroughs, but I only do about 10, 15 minutes, sometimes half an hour of a game, just to really give you a really good perspective of the beginning of the game, how the gameplay is in the real world. Some people will do a review that's in 2 minutes, 3 minutes. They play it and they do a little bit of a capture, and then they voice over it. I want to give you the real deal. I want to show you exactly what you're going to get when you buy this game. So my videos may have to be removed. It's I'm kind of like on that borderline, I feel like. But what Darkside Phil does, he's in a much more dangerous probably of anybody else because he does the most recent games of playthroughs. And Machinima has told him, do not upload cutscenes at all. Companies do not want that, okay? Companies do not want that. They don't want people watching gameplay footage of an entire game because after they watch it, they're getting entertained, and if they watch it, they may decide just to buy another game. Would you rather, let's take out the cutscenes at all. Take out all the cutscenes. Let's take out all the cutscenes of a game like Gears of War. Okay, now you're just gonna see gameplay footage. All right, you still, are kind of like watching a movie from, kind of from, you're watching, you don't have dialogue. You may have a little bit of a dialogue with characters, voiceovers coming up, like in Gears of War or something like, hey, they're coming around the corner or something like that. You're still being entertained even through the gameplay footage. So, would you rather, buy that game and then see those same levels again? Or would you rather just buy Resistance 2 and have a completely new experience? You have no idea what's the next level is. You have no clue what's coming up. So that's why I believe the video game video bill is part of the bill is being put in here. Now, let me just go a little further. I could be wrong about this, so don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty um, positive on this. I think one of the channels in South Korea was, or some of the channels, maybe it was more than one, had a takedown notice from Blizzard. Blizzard was going to sue one of these channels that plays StarCraft tournaments, and Blizzard says, "Hey, you're making money off of our product." Okay, StarCraft in South Korea is huge. It's it's like baseball here in the United States, or football, or hockey in Canada, or soccer in Europe and soccer in South America, or other places. Soccer is very popular. That is considered to be their sport. It's StarCraft, and that's why they do not want you uploading any of that stuff, because one, you can be making money on it. Darkside Phil makes money on his channels because he's a Machinima partner. Okay, they don't want people profiting off of their product. Now, here's my personal opinion. I think the bill is stupid. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Even if somebody does buy another game because they saw, I don't think, my personal opinion, I don't have any statistics. I probably think that these gameplay footage, these gameplay videos, probably do more good for the gaming industry than bad. Yeah, there probably are some people, in my opinion, who won't buy a game because they saw somebody play it. But who knows? I could be completely wrong about that. But when you look at that, somebody actually created those levels. Okay, and they don't want you just to look at this, gameplay footage and then play it, and then maybe you may not have as fun an experience because you already know what to do. Can you debate the argument this is also a strategy guide? If you go to Best Buy and you buy a strategy guide for a game, of course you can. But is a strategy guide, the experience from a strategy guide, different from watching a gameplay video? Yeah, it is. I mean, you're not going to get the same experience from reading a strategy guide than watching a gameplay walkthrough. Now, have I watched gameplay walkthroughs that have helped me when I got stuck? Of course I have. And I'm glad that people have uploaded them. and that's a good resource for that too. Now, who knows? Maybe there are companies who don't want these video game playthroughs on. There are companies who do um, strategy guides. There are websites that put strategy guides up online and stuff like that. Now, Review Tech USA said he had a conspiracy that it's IGN game trailers. Well, maybe that's true. I mean, if you look at IGN, it's owned by News Corp. That News Corp owns Fox, FX, Fox News, Fox Business, Fox Studios, so on and so on. And IGN is a pretty big, valuable investment for News Corp. Now, I believe Game Trailers is owned by Viacom. They own CBS, Nickelodeon, I think, MTV, VH1. So Game Trailers is now probably losing money because there's people going to YouTube. This is debatable, if it's right or wrong. My personal opinion is that it's a bunch of baloney. I don't think it's. I think it's going to do more bad for video games than it's going to do for good. I think the video game industry should just back off and drop this bill. Now, of course, the video game companies are involved in this because none of them are coming out and say, "Hey, we don't want that in the bill. We don't want it." The video game companies are involved in this. Don't be so naive. If it was, if they didn't want it in the bill, you would hear about Valve. You hear about Gabe coming out, and a lot of people say how great Valve is because how they treat their customers. Yeah, Steam is a great service. They treat their customers pretty damn good. However, Gabe, back in the day, was a scumbag. Okay? Let me explain Gabe the scumbag. Half-Life 2, when it first hit the stores, and I'm not talking about the orange box, I'm talking about the regular version of Half-Life 2. A friend of mine bought that game for whatever it was, $50, I guess. He bought it for brand new. This kid had dial-up. He could not authorize his copy because he had a 56K modem. It had to scan all the files, I believe, to authorize that he had a legit copy of Half-Life 2. All right? It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. Yeah, there's a lot of other games that authorize over the internet, but they usually just authorize a couple of files. I've heard about one guy who had to authorize his version of Half-Life 2 on a dial-up. It took 8 hours to authorize his copy. Then you hear Gabe talking about why people pirate games because they want something that's easy. They don't want to deal with authorizations, all this other crap. So, he says that's why Steam is good. You just download the game and it works because it's embedded DRM. That's why it works. It works like iTunes. If I download like Dead Space for my iPhone, I download the DRM. It's already in there when I'm downloading it. Okay, you can't take my file of Dead Space and put it on your iPhone. It will not work. Okay, it's the same. The DRM works pretty good when it's downloaded right into the device, into a username. Now, if you have to take a game and then authorize it online, blah, 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 check all those files, it's a different process. So all these companies think about money. I don't know the statistics of how, if it hurts, gaming industry, if it helps. I think the gaming industry thinks that, it hurts and that's why they don't want it. Me personally, I think gameplay videos help the industry more than hurt it. Everything's up to debate. I have no statistics on either side, but this is how I think they see it. Here is a link in the description box if you want to help stop this bill. Do I think it's going to pass? Yes, I do think it's going to pass. Yes, I do think I'll probably have to remove my gameplay videos. However, I'm kind of in a small niche market. I do iPhone and Android games. 99% of Android games, I don't even think the companies care. I don't think 99% of the iPhone games care. They're more than I think they're more than happy that I review them, and many other iPhone and smartphone gamers. But it is what it is, So don't be naive. I think this bill is in place mainly for Xbox 360 games, PS3, and Wii, and the top selling PC games. That's what this bill is for. But most of it, I think, is probably because of Xbox and PS3. Really, the Wii is in there, the PC is in there, stuff like that. Now, let's say this bill passes, and you're upset about it. Well, the best thing you can do is don't buy any brand new games. Um, you know, go to GameStop and buy used games. Do that. Go into a retro store, buy used games. Go on eBay, buy used games. Go to Amazon, buy used games. Um, if you have to buy brand new games, buy them on Steam when they're dirt cheap. If you have to, or on live. you know. Or if you're an iPhone user like me, buy your games when they're 99 cents. I mean, that's if you have to buy new. But really, you should just be buying used games. Buy used games. Buy Xbox 360 used games. PS3, Wii, the PC. If you run out of titles on those consoles, go back to Xbox One, PS2, GameCube. Buy used games. There's tons of good games to play. There's tons of retro reviewers out there that can recommend. Pete Dorr, Happy Console Gamer, Gamester81, JC Heine, the All Gen Gamers, Splatter Trigger, Nescapades. Some of these guys are on my checkout channel. Um, Captain 8-Bit, Turbo Views, Spider 1A. You want to have a good experience? Pick up a Turbo Graphics. You'll probably discover more games that you had no clue about. But that's what it is. It's coming down to money. It's sad that it is. And again, I'm just looking at this from a money perspective, and this is coming from the video game companies. And I made that determination from when I used to watch Darkside Phil's channels. He used to get a lot of takedown notices all the damn time. And I can't remember what game it was. It was a game. I'll just say this before I wrap it up. There was a game that was like God of War, and it was called Dante's Inferno. And Dante's Inferno had a nude scene with a CGI character with their boobs hanging out, nipples and all, completely nude. And Darkside Phil knew ahead of time not to upload the nude scenes. He did not upload the nude scenes, and he got a takedown notice. And IGN, if you check the IGN review, which is on YouTube, the review of the IGN link will be in the description box. Completely nude breasts, I mean nipples and all, on the YouTube channel, and IGN has never had a takedown notice. Now I kind of think, what Review Tech is it's probably coming from News Corp and Viacom because of IGN game trailers, and it's also being supported by the video game companies. So that's my opinion on it. So whatever. So you can fight it for what it is right now, but if it happens, don't buy any new games. Buy used. If you run out of used games, try indie games. There's a Linux disk that has unbelievable quality games for Linux, and it's a CD that can boot your computer into its own gaming console almost. It's a Linux OS, goes into the CD drive. I'll try to find it for you guys. And it boots up into Linux, and all these games are Linux. You don't even have to know Linux. It's just like a console. Some of these games, yeah, they're ported for Windows or Mac or so on. Look, play Flash games. There's a lot of good Flash games out there. There's Gravity Man. Some of these games might not be Xbox 360 quality or PS3, but there are tons of alternatives out there. There's free to play games. These MMOs from South Korea. Some of them aren't half bad, tell you the truth. You know, give those a try. Start experimenting. You know, there's a lot of used games. There's a lot of free games out there. So once again, I'm sorry for this long video, but I really wanted to give what I believe is the truth behind S.978, the bill. It's about money. That's all it's about. It's about money. Congress is putting it in there because they have lobbyists. That's my opinion, and I believe that is the truth. Once again, guys, this has been mp4podcast.com signing out. You guys take care. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel. Bye.